Hey guys, so this past week on Tuesday, the 13th of January, I got to participate in a night experiment with some other crazy YouTubers, including Jack Frags, Tommy Rage, Westy, Pro Westy, I think, Danny on PC, the list could go on, Altheos, my good buddy, can't forget Altheos, and Dolce. And I know I'm missing people, but those are some of the people that just come to mind as I'm speaking right now. I'll list more of them in the description and everything. But basically, in this event, we used Hottie Waddy's, Hattie Waddy, Hattie Waddy, Hottie Waddy. We used his tools, his cinematic tools, to create night maps. And this was done using some presets that Shadow6, another YouTuber, made. And I can't give that guy enough credit. These were amazing maps. They looked gorgeous. They looked absolutely beautiful. And actually, I think that this map event experiment thing was a big success. The biggest reason why I think so is because DICE actually responded. While we were playing, there was a guy named Tom Attack, and he's a DICE developer. He's the senior lead lighting person, I think, at DICE. And basically, after he played this and after he talked with some of us, he actually started work right away, posted on Twitter, showing that he's working on Siege of Shanghai at the moment, just kind of fiddling around with it in his spare time, trying to create night mode basically for that map. And this kind of leads to the question, well, maybe he'll maybe continue on doing this with different maps too. But it actually, you can see a little bit of progress. It actually looks pretty neat. My one big concern is that it'll look kind of like Terran Highway, I think that's how you pronounce it, from Battlefield 3, which was a little bit too bright. As you'll notice in this gameplay, like, things are dark. This isn't you know, a light dark. This isn't twilight. This is dark. This is midnight. And the lights, you can really see the lights and how they play off of different textures and stuff in the environments in this game. Like, for example, right there, even though it's kind of a glitch there, you'd see every light, every hand flare, every flare from a helicopter and everything, they play off the other objects. They play off the body of the helicopter in that case, to create some really gorgeous and absolutely phenomenal shots that another YouTuber named Bordeaux has been able to take advantage of and create some absolutely amazing National Geographic quality pictures that look amazing. I'm gonna keep using that word, or maybe I'll use the word legendary. Legendary seems quite rare. Well, legend, wait for it. Dairy, legendary. That's how awesome this event was. In addition to that, it was great for me personally because I got to play with these crazy people like Chawboy, including, I forgot to mention Chawboy. Chawboy is there, but he was being a little pesky little bird pilot. That's not him. That's actually Jack in that chopper. Which, by the way, if you are a big, Jack Frags fan, if you're wondering where he is, he's Atomic Spies in here. So anytime you see Atomic Spies in the kill cam, not in the death cam, I didn't die to that bugger. No, I'm joking, Jack. I'm not calling you a bugger. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Killed lots of people. Killed Danny PC so much. Danny, you know who you are. Killed you quite a bit. Got some nice knives in there. And I actually knifed two angry gamers, Bong and Tommy, quite a bit as well. But anyways, I'm sure you probably don't want to hear too much about those YouTubers and stuff. Well, maybe you do. But anyways, it was really neat for me because here I am, a small little YouTube channel, and I got to play with these guys that are, the top of the top in terms of Battlefield YouTubing and all that stuff. So it was an amazing experience for me, and I had some fun with my best mate Altheos there. He is a lot of fun playing with him as well. Okay, so there were a few maps that we were playing. This one is obviously Siege of Shanghai. We played a little bit as a VOD. We played some Firestorm, and we played some Propaganda and Sunken Dragon. So out of all these ones, I've probably got to say my favorite is kind of a tie between Firestorm and Siege of Shanghai. Siege of Shanghai. Say that 3 times fast, 5 times as fast, 10 times as fast. Siege of Shanghai, Siege of Shanghai, Siege of Shanghai. Siege of Shanghai was probably my favorite one. Even though the building falling down, like you'll see here in just a moment. Anyways, I thought I'd be able to time that right. Yeah, you'll see it falling down. Oh, there it is. There it comes down now. It actually wasn't that big of a deal. Like, we were all waiting, just standing there like, ooh, oh, it's not all that cool. I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't quite as cool as the first time you saw it fall. Nothing crazy spectacular with that. And it kind of makes sense because really the things that this is changing is the lighting. So events like that, it doesn't really change that. And so I think that's important to note because a lot of the actual game mechanics, the factors that influence the game aren't changing. The main thing that does change, and I think that was good that we did in this, is we disabled some of the 3D spotting. So as you notice here, there's no Doritos anywhere. And I think this is a good thing because that would basically destroy the whole point of having a night map, which is, it makes it so that it's harder to see people. What does that do? It makes you stay on your toes. It makes you be a little bit more cautious. It makes you have to kind of take your time when you're trying to push up on objectives or do whatever. You just have to be, overall, your awareness has to be a lot more heightened than it usually is in the stock game. And so I think that was an absolutely wonderful idea, and I think that will be something that's a necessity if they do end up making, or by they I mean DICE, end up making some more night maps. FLIR, or other words or otherwise called infrared night vision scopes, would be a lot more useful. In this map, they were a little bit useful. I didn't find them too great. What I did find was a lot more useful is using flashlights, tactical lights, or your just barrel-mounted flashlight. That made being able to see other people really useful. Something that was actually I was a little bit surprised by, is I think this was actually something that was nerfed in the first place due to flashlights just being kind of annoying in Battlefield 3 sometimes. I feel like it wasn't quite as intense as I thought it would be. If you're looking at someone head on with a flashlight, like, it should be blinding. But it really wasn't too much. I guess that's a good thing, because in Battlefield 3 it was kind of annoying when people ran with that. I mean, it does give your position away, so it can be argued that they were already nerfed fine, but I did find that it just wasn't as intense as I thought it would be. In the case of having people just run with infrared night vision or whatever types of scopes, I did see someone, another YouTuber, sorry, I don't know who you are. I can't remember. I watched it a long time ago, but I saw someone that was mentioning, what kind of changes to the game would have to be made if you were going to institute night maps in the Battlefield 4. And one of the things he mentioned is that if night maps were made, it seems like everyone probably, and this is all a hypothesis, would use infrared night vision, or they'd use lights and things like that. No one would just use standard loadouts, and it would kind of destroy the whole point of having a night map, to have this aesthetic, this certain cosmetic change that makes the map look different. You just look through night vision goggles and just see a green tint. You might as well just change the tint of the whole map to green. So it destroys the whole point. Like, while we were all playing here, or through all of my gameplay, you'll notice I'm not using any infrared stuff. I'm using a flashlight in some clips. So for the most part, you do get to enjoy these maps. So this one YouTuber, once again, don't know your name, he was sort of confronted with this problem, and he had a solution. His solution was that if you use the night vision scopes, you basically would have a timer on them, almost like a battery. It recharges when you don't use it, and you can only stay scoped in for a certain amount of time. I thought this was really interesting. I thought this could be a very viable option to nerfing infrared scopes when you're in night maps. If you can only stay scoped in for, say, 10 minutes long or so, that may be able to combat people just completely using those scopes, or even if DICE implemented night vision goggles. If they implemented night vision goggles, and maybe scopes are fine. You don't have to you don't have to nerf those scopes. But maybe if people had night vision goggles as, say, a third gadget or something, you press 3 on your keyboard and you get to have night vision. Maybe you can only use that for a short amount of time before the battery runs out and it recharges when it's not open, when it's in your backpack or whatever. So I don't know, it's kind of food for thought, something for you to think about. He was basing all of his ideas about this night vision implementation based off of how it is in Arma 3. Arma 3, and especially DayZ, does have, well, the mod does have night vision goggles, but it had night vision, and you could go into, I think, military bases and get some night vision goggles. But basically that would just mean that you're looking through your screen with a tint, and it kind of gave players an advantage if they use the night vision goggles, which is, completely fine. But Battlefield 4 is obviously a little bit better looking than Arma, or Arma 2 in that case. So I think there is a little bit more incentive to try to make these games something that you can look at without night vision, without this tint, and kind of just enjoy the look of the map. But anyways, that's all I'm going to talk about in terms of night vision nerfing and that kind of implementation into the game. I think that the biggest challenge that DICE will be facing as they move forward in trying to make these night maps from original Battlefield maps, I think the biggest thing they're going to be challenged with is trying to make the games still play and feel like you can enjoy the map and still find people yet also creating this sense of it actually being nighttime. Once again, bring back the experiences from Terran Highway and how that wasn't really night like this. If you compare footage from this event to that map, you'll see this feels a lot better. At least that's my opinion. Is that this feels a lot more like it's night, and it gives a lot more of that atmosphere coming back to that. That is opposed to, say, the original night event, which I'm sure you can search on YouTube. I think Dolce has some footage of that. But yeah, if you look at the original night experiment, it was really difficult, and I don't see that being a viable solution for night maps because you cannot see anyone. It's extremely difficult, and I think players would get really frustrated really fast with having to try to find people in that way. So once again, finding that balance between, say, Terran Highway and the first night map experiment, I think is going to be key for DICE. Anyways, that is about all I have for today to bring you on this night map. I am going to bring you guys live comms when I was squatted up with Jack, Two Angry Gamers, Hadouken, and I think Westy might have been there for a little bit, as well as Shadow 6. We played some a little bit after the event, and it was really great for me and Altheos to, and Altheos too. It was great for all of us to be able to experience, you know, what it's like to game with some of these bigger guys. Anyways, bringing this video to a close, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Feel free to mash that like button. That's always appreciated. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think about this implementation. I've said implementation quite a bit. The importation of the infrared night vision or just night vision goggles into the game. How do you think it is best that those are balanced? Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.